Lost children in the woods, dead wolf in the woods, dead souls forever in the woods.
We find ourselves in the small town of Hampstead. As you small children make your way into this strange town for the first time, you see small, old-timey cafes and restaurants set up along these little, tiny, quaint cobblestone streets. You see like a barber shop and all sorts of like amenities and different services. It seems that this place is more settled and more populated than the other places you've been to so far in the woods. But as you're moving through town, you notice that the town is full of these street lamps, almost choking out the sides of the sidewalks. There are jack-o'-lanterns placed everywhere, and everything is lit. And the entire place, despite it being relatively dark out, is full of light pollution and different jack-o'-lanterns and street lights and different ways of making sure that this entire area is as lit as possible. And it smells nice and toasty. As you walk, you feel the crunch of autumn leaves underneath your feet. You smell cider in the air, and there's like the sounds of laughing children and songs filling the air as you all find yourself wandering through Hampstead.
I would like to state that for the audience, if they don't remember or haven't been here, Hampstead is also a town full of, like, boar people?
I was gonna get to that in a moment.
Pigs.
Yeah.
It's all pigs. Like how in the first episode it was a town of cats.
Yeah. Welcome to Hallows Night. This is our Halloween little one-shot thing that we do every year where we play Babes in the Woods, which is a game based on Over the Garden Wall and other modern fairy tales and Halloween stories. Last time you had all escaped a train that didn't seem to have any stops or doors and made your way into the town of Hampstead, which is a town populated by these boar people. Our players are a group of children who've gotten lost on Halloween night in this strange forest called the Hallow and are doing their best to find their way home.
Are we succeeding? Who knows?
I certainly don't.
Unclear.
I am a...
Well, if we ever find our way home, the series is gonna have to end, so...
So, luckily, this fits right in with Tommy, which is my character, the little kid, for those of you who...
You are Pumpkin.
Are new. Yeah, I'm a pumpkin, but also, I'm scared of the dark. So, having all these lights fits perfectly, because my character type is the little kid. A little blonde, Baroque cherub boy, blonde hair, blue eyes, in a pumpkin costume with a plastic pumpkin basket, the ones you can get at, like, Target for, like, 90 cents or something? Those. And...
Yeah, like $1.
Yeah, like, essentially, that's Tommy. He makes friends with everyone, but he's not scared of giant badgers or stuff like that, but he's scared of the dark. So this place is great for Tommy. Tommy's like, yes, perfect. But not.
Just don't look outside the town.
Bold of you to assume Tommy would.
I can go next.
Yeah.
I am playing Carol Anderson. She is the older sibling of Tommy. She is the big kid versus Tommy being the little kid. She is wearing the very cheap, plasticky, fluffy king's robes costume, complete with the crown and scepter. And she is an anxiety-riddled ball of fear and more anxiety. And she, like her brother, is blonde with pale skin, and she's got freckles and some big round glasses.
Yes, don't forget the glasses. And she's very much into Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah, yes. She's super into Shakespeare. She likes to prove that she is smart.
Probably going to be a theater major one day.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely going to be a theater kid in high school.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. I am playing Oswin. Oswin is a child that has been turned into a small fruit bat. And, they're kind of not the best-mannered child. Definitely probably could have been raised to be a little bit more polite.
Precious.
Have I shared his backstory of why?
Yes,
I'm
but
pretty
I would,
sure he's explained.
yes, but I definitely again we
You want to? It's been a bit. It's been a year
Yeah.
since we've seen these characters. You want to say how you got cursed?
Yeah, Oswin stole and ate a pumpkin from a witch's garden because he was hungry. He's almost always hungry. And I guess a bit in the meta, like, you know, there's always the life lessons that they learn. In the meta, he doesn't share. He doesn't like sharing, and so that's kind of like, that's more like why the witch cursed him, not so much because he stole, but because he's rude and he's not nice.
all I thought of was when you were saying that, like, oh, he's always hungry. I was just like, the sin of gluttony, Halloween's true horror. And I was like, whoa there, what?
Okay. You're also joined by a red butterfly named Irene,
That's right.
who's also a kid that got turned into an animal.
Because she wished to be a butterfly, and then it happened, and then it wasn't as cool as she wanted it to be.
She also bumped into a witch who said she would grant her a wish. She wished to be a butterfly. What she did not know is that the witch didn't give her the ability to change back, or never intended on changing her back. So she got turned into a butterfly, had a great time, and then when she was like, okay, I'm done, there's just like no way of going back. And then she kind of got hamstrung into working customer service on a train.
That's hell. As someone who works in retail,
Yeah.
that's hell.
Retail is the worst job. Customer service in general is the worst job.
I feel like this is the same witch that can only ever turn people into animals. Which, honestly, considering a lot of the people we've met are animals,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Didn't we end the last episode, though, thinking of maybe trying to go to her and see if we could get a wish to do whatever we wanted?
There's certainly discussion of that. She did say that you can't wish to leave the woods, but there's still plenty of other things you can do with your wishes, it seems like. And, you know, a witch could maybe, if you, like, talk to them, could maybe undo some of the enchantments, making people animals. Or could maybe give you pointers towards what you might want to do to escape. It's the only direction you found so far.
Yeah, I think our best bet is to go to the witch.
And we were also given this train ticket to Hampstead from,
The Marquis of the Woods,
Marquis, yeah.
which is this big, spooky amalgam of, like, bones and strange weeds and wheat and tree branches and things, gave you tickets that allowed you to get trapped on the train in the first place. And it seems that he's the owner of these woods, and that everyone who lives here kind of does so at his grace, and is, like, very afraid of him and has to follow his rules and things.
And so far, I think Oswin is the only one who's actually interacted with him, and Oswin is very afraid of the Marquis.
Yeah.
Osmond is so far the only one that's actually talked to the Marquis, that's true.
And talking is very, like, a limited sense of the word, considering Oswin is so frightened he couldn't say anything.
I would like to also state, though, that we got off the train, the never-ending train, it seemed like, because Tommy was just Tommy. He was a charming 6-year-old.
And Carol kicked the ass out of the conductor.
You managed to convince the conductor to let you go. The conductor, by the way, was like a massive 20 feet long, like huge fat badger that was crammed into the front of the train. who convinced you to leave.
Carol went on an amazing heist.
Yeah, we discovered last episode that Carol will do literally anything to make sure Tommy stays by her side.
Even steal an arm.
I did steal an arm.
And you, along with a boar person you met named Beauregard, managed to leave the train
I
along
forgot.
with a ferry man named Herbert.
Oh
Ferry
my
boy,
god,
I should say.
Herbert!
Herbert's a
You
bitch.
managed to
Who is smuggling something
Herbert's a
in his
bitch.
bag.
He had a duffel bag with toys hidden underneath, toys and candy hidden underneath leaves.
Herbert's a bitch.
And last time you saw, he searched the town for something and didn't seem to find it.
Herbert's
So now
a bitch.
we join our. I almost said intrepid heroes again. We join our lost kids looking for a way
Home.
to the
There's
witch.
only one thing worse than a hero.
No.
A child.
No.
Irene, can I ask you a question?
Oh yeah, of course.
Do you know the name of the witch or how to get back to her? Maybe you could take us there.
Son of a. I prepped so many names.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What's a good witch name?
Not Adelaide.
Yeah. To Adelaide. To Adelaide.
What's a good
We'll
witch
join the
name?
Adelaide parade.
What kind of witch though?
Well, we know she loves turning kids into animals.
It's a genie. It's the genie complex of like you got to be specific. Be careful what you wish for. So
I like Cordelia.
yes, I say
I
as
was
if
gonna-
that's not
Yeah, I
one
was
of my
gonna say Dahlia.
Dahlia. Sorry.
Dahlia is pretty good. I do like the idea that maybe it's a Wizard of Oz situation and they're like regional witches.
Yeah.
There's a witch for each
There's just like a witch
section.
around every town.
Yeah.
We got your local witch here. Get your local witch.
Yeah, we'll go with Dahlia. I like that. Her name was Dahlia. She was the witch of the north.
I'm sorry, are we really going cardinal directions there?
What else
I
is
mean,
there?
what other regions do you think we can separate them on? Honestly, I do like the Wizard of Oz connection.
I liked what Reese said about the towns. We could also do like Witch of the Forest, Witch of the River.
Sorry,
Like
I was making.
Okay, that's something actually. Yeah.
I was just making a
Um,
joke because I was thinking of like hot dogs. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, I got it. Her name was Dahlia the Hedge Witch.
The what witch?
Hedge Witch.
Okay.
I don't
okay.
know what a hedge is.
It's like a trimmed bush.
I don't know
It's
either.
a trimmed bush, Tommy.
Oh.
You know how on our way to school, when we walk to school, there's like all those really square bushes and you try to shove your face in them?
Yes, those are fun.
Yeah, those are hedges.
Ah, okay. God, I wish you guys could see my face when I do this. So I'm like so expressive.
I do a lot of hand motions when I do Carol. Okay, thank you. Do you remember how to get back there?
She was up north, but that's all I really remember.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to remember. I was on that train for a really long time,
That's okay. It's a start.
and it's really easy to get lost in these woods.
That is how we got here in the first place.
Why don't we just ask the people here if they know the hedge witch? I don't remember her name.
Dahlia.
Dahlia. I'm probably
Yeah.
not gonna remember that.
Okay.
I'm bad at names. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll remember it for you.
Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome, Tommy.
So as you're walking along, all of Hampstead is populated by these like boar people that are just like boars standing on 2 feet, like upright and dressed in like old timey pilgrim clothes somehow.
Timon and Pumbaa, but old timey pilgrims, but it's just
You-
Pumbaa.
Yes, it's It's Pumbaa dressed up in like a little in like a little outfit. And you notice there's like this place is like bustling. There's plenty of people all around walking the streets, but you notice despite how well lit, like almost oppressively lit this place is, all of the poor people, all these little like pigs and even the older ones, especially if it looks like they're wealthier and they like have jewelry and nicer clothes and things, they're all carrying like candles and lanterns and stuff. You see one Boer woman who has like this really ridiculous high up wig, and inside the wig is nested like a lantern.
Oh.
Tommy's eyes are wide as he just stares at this lady like entranced.
So Oswin kind of like sees all of this and he's thinking for a bit, and then he goes over to Carol and is like, I don't really like this. I don't feel like this is a good place to be.
Why not?
I think that there's something bad that has to do with why there's so many lanterns around.
Maybe it's a festival. It could be a festival for warding off evil.
What?
The townspeople look friendly enough.
You see tiny little piglets playing hopscotch, and all of the little piglets are, while they're playing hopscotch, holding candles in their hand, just like a candle.
See, look, there's kids playing outside. Would a town that's messed up have kids playing freely outside?
I don't know, but I want to go play. Tommy rushes off.
Oh, Lord! Tommy!
Tommy, do you want to go play hopscotch with the little piglets?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Tommy, you run up to the little piglets and you start playing hopscotch with them.
Hell yeah!
Hi!
Hi!
Hi, do you want to play with us?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, great! It can be your turn after Pigatha.
Hi, I'm Tommy.
Hi! That's Pigatha, and I'm Porkly.
Cool.
I'm Mickey.
No, Porkly.
Nice to meet you.
Pigatha, you have to finish your turn. Pigatha does her best, but she trips and falls over.
Oh no!
Her candle goes out.
Oh.
And she immediately starts to just bawl.
What?
And Porkly is like, "Oh no, it's okay. And runs up, picks up her candle, and relights it with his. And he's like, "See, it's okay. The shadow won't get you."
The what?
Oh yeah, the shadow.
Oswin hears this and just like side eyes Carol.
Carol gives like a kind of thin-lipped grin.
What do you mean? What?
Oh yeah, Hampstead's haunted.
And Tommy
Yeah.
looks on the verge of tears.
Carol's thin smile goes wider.
There's a big scary monster. We call it the Shadow, and it comes out when it's dark, and it does all sorts of terrible things to pigs that are alone in the darkness. The mayor set up all these street lamps and jack-o'-lanterns and candles and stuff to keep it away, but sometimes the shadow will make the lights go out, and then it'll get you. And all sorts of bad stuff happens if it gets you.
Tommy starts crying. Tommy just starts crying immediately.
Pigatha's also in tears.
Okay, well, it's okay. Well, Tommy, thank you for the information. Is there any possible way we could get some candles and other information, maybe?
Oh yeah, you should go to a shop and buy some, because I only have the one, and Pigatha only has the we have to hold on to these ones.
Is there anywhere we can get some for free?
I'm like a kid. So,
We are also kids with no money.
yeah, well, my parents get up and give me my candles, so you should ask your mom and dad if you could get candles.
Carol just grits her teeth and smiles.
Tommy's still crying. I am not gonna put y'all through that. So, audio-wise, that
Carol's like holding Tommy's head and like doing a little hair stroke.
Tommy is literally scared of the dark, and this piglet kid, just affirmed
It's okay,
all of
Tommy.
his fears.
The shadow's not gonna get you. Look at how many lights there are. The shadow can't get you here.
Is Pigatha still crying?
Pigatha's reining it in.
Okay, well, Oswin's gonna go pick up her candle.
Hey, Porkly is holding Pigatha's candle right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Oswin's gonna go, I guess, land on Porkly's hand and try to grab the candle.
Hey, you can't do that. That's my candle.
You just said that your parents will get you a new one.
Yeah, but it's... candles don't grow on trees, I'm pretty sure. You can't just take it.
Hey, Oswald, don't
Osmond, if you want to take this kid's candle, that's going to be a roll of some kind.
that's mean. Don't do that.
I don't think we should take these kids' candles.
That's mean.
Okay, but where are we gonna find our own? I don't like this place.
Well, we could find some endearing adults who might gift us one. Or we could try the shop, see if they have
Trick or treat for candles.
Okay.
Irene will say, I mean, we do know someone in town. I mean, we know Beauregard.
Yeah,
The
trick or
tailor.
treat.
We could ask him, I guess.
Trick or treat for candles.
Yeah. I guess.
Tommy wants trick or treating again. Tommy is a 6-year-old who just got terrified of everything.
Okay, well, let's go trick-or-treating for candles, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carol's not having this. She's so upset, but she's trying not to let Tommy cry.
I just like the fact that it's just, we gotta do something? Tommy says no. AKA, I am a child who runs around.
What way did they point for the shop?
They didn't point any way
Okay.
towards the shop. They're just like, yeah, our parents get it for us. You should
Let's
ask your
go
mom for
find
a
a
candle.
shop then.
Yeah. Do you guys have a way of locating a shop?
We have
that's-
eyes.
Okay. What move would you like to roll to search this town for a candle shop?
Is there a look move?
Gander.
Gander. Describe what you're looking into and roll noodle.
Alright. Let's take again. Okay, well, I got a 3 plus a 2, so that's a 5.
Okay,
Ooh.
so what you're telling me is you failed.
I failed.
Cool. I like that part.
I'll take an XP. I don't know if I've been tracking XP for my fails in the past. but
I
I'll
hope
take
you
one
have
now.
been. You better have been.
I don't know. I have 1 of 6, and now I have 2 of 6.
Oh, there
so
you go.
unless I only ever failed once, I think I might have missed a couple.
Well, I don't know what the failing...
Or you've just been rolling surprisingly well and not that often.
Or just, not at all. I'm a bat. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
You guys start walking around this town, doing your best to find a shop. There are a lot of restaurants here and like fun little cafes. You pass like a little what's the word? You pass a little painting gallery, where it looks like there's a small town artist who like does paintings and hangs them up in this small little open air kind of building. And you can walk in and take a look at his paintings, or maybe ask him to paint you something. This place has like everything. There's a little library. There's a barber shop. There's a bank. It has a little school that you guys pass. And as you're walking around, you feel a cold breeze kind of pass through town, and some of the autumnal leaves kind of kick up and blow through the air.
Tommy grabs at some of the leaves.
Oh, you have leaves now in your hands.
Yeah.
Tommy's trying to find the perfect leaf.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
plop it into my
That's
bucket. I
right.
plop it right into my bucket. I feel like they, for a while, it takes a bit to try to find, like, Tommy's looking around, trying to see, and as you said that they're walking by a school.
Yeah,
So
you
there
feel more lost now than ever.
Yeah,
But you did just pass a school.
yeah, there are adults. So Tommy, being 6, and so far having a 2 for 2 on really friendly people, just kind of goes up probably to the nearest adult by the school, because he's learned school is, they're there to be, like, help. They're cool. Teachers live at schools.
Yeah. You step into this schoolhouse, and it's an old-timey one-room schoolhouse where just, like, the entire building is in this one square. And you see at a desk up front is a boar dressed up in an old, like, school teacher dress. And on her desk, there's a little sign that says Mrs. Pigsley.
Okay. Tommy goes, Mrs. And he looks at her little thing again, and then goes, Mrs. Pigsley, trick or treat, holds up his pumpkin and goes, I don't have a candle.
What?
I don't have a candle.
Oh, dear child, you should have a candle.
Do I need to roll anything for that, Riley?
No, not really. We can just continue this conversation. She's about kids.
I don't have a candle, and I'm scared of the dark. He starts with those big baby eyes.
Oh, goodness, you should be. The dark is an awful place here in Hampstead.
Lightning strike.
Is there a place I could get a candle?
Why, you should go see Baconsworth, the candle seller. Or perhaps you could find Pigwood, the lamplighter, and talk to them. They should have some way of lighting your way and keeping the shadow at bay.
What the hell, Riley?
More lightning.
I know you. And Tommy goes, thank you! And just
I heard my cousin ran into the shadow one night.
I don't need to hear more, please. Tommy
He was never seen again.
I do have a question. If he ran into a shadow and was never seen again, who told the story?
You know, I never really thought about it. I suppose it would have been someone saw.
So then that
Okay.
person would know what the shadow looked like.
Oh, the shadow is 8 feet tall with glowing eyes and claws as sharp as knives, and with a tail like a stack of smoke billowing out behind it. It can see into your very soul, and being near it causes the very lights to dim and the jack-o'-lanterns to wilt.
I would just like to say Carol at the partway through when she starts doing the description, Carol just puts her hands around Tommy's ears.
Yeah, that's right. Because Tommy was already watery eyes,
Yeah.
It stole Hamhock's pants, you know.
Okay.
Why would it steal pants?
Well, Hamhock was going to... Well, that's not important. The point is, he was seeing a little someone on the side. And, he was taking...
Okay, we don't need to hear this. Thank you for your time.
He was taking her some flowers, and, well, he was going down the side, and all of a sudden, the shadow bursts out, and it goes, "Rah!" And he screams, right? And he drops the flowers, and he starts to run away. And the shadow lunges at him, and as it does, it grabs his legs. But Hamhawk, he's a squirmy little fella, and so he managed to wrestle free from his pants, and he ran all the way to Trotterton's. And as he was running, he turned behind him, and he saw the shadow slinking back into the alleyway, taking his pants.
Okay, well, I think we've heard enough. Let's go find... What were they again?
Pigwood the lamplighter, or Baconsworth the candle seller.
Okay, thank you for your time, ma'am. We're gonna go talk to them.
Bye!
Be safe, and don't let the shadow get you, lest your souls be lost forever. And she waves at you.
Okay, I definitely believe in that.
You should! I heard a friend's cousin's brother didn't believe in the shadow.
Yeah, I'm sure. She's just shoving Tommy and Oswald out the
He was
door.
there on a carriage ride, you see, because he loves horses. And as he was riding through the forest, the shadow drove the forest screamed, which spooked the horses.
Okay, what were they again? Baconsworth and pigs something. Let's go look for the candle places.
Austin's like, I told you I didn't like this place.
Yeah, the people are crazy here, and every day I have a little less patience for it.
We just get a shot of everyone walking by a window, and just in the window, there's like a pig holding like a cup of coffee, and its fist is just shaking so bad, and the coffee's just like flying out of the mug as he like lifts it up. He is not wearing any pants. You all continue along your way.
He's a pig, though, so it really doesn't matter.
He still doesn't have
It
pants.
doesn't, yeah.
Listen, he's only got one pair of clothes. Don't worry about it.
I can't really roll gander. So...
Well, I failed at rolling.
I can try,
Yeah.
but I have a plus.
Oh, yeah, Tommy, you've got gander.
I have a +0 to it, but I can definitely try.
It's better than me. I've got a -2 to it.
Negative. Oh, gee.
Yeah, if you don't have the move on your sheet, you get a -2 to it automatically.
Didn't work. Did not work. I got a 6.
Oh, guys.
I am a little 6-year-old
got an-
terrified of the dark.
Second failure. Okay.
I might try and roll for it, even though I have a -2, just to see what I
No,
get.
we're taking that failure. So as you guys are walking, you turn into an area, and this place is like a little town square. Not really, but it's a little like courtyard in the town where there's a little fountain set up, surrounded by jack-o'-lanterns and everything. And there's like lights strung up and lanterns hanging from just every which way. And again, there are so many street lamps planted into the ground. It looks like it's a fence made out of street lamps and everything, just like all shoved so close to each other because they're like just choking out parts of sidewalk. And they're pigs and boars in this town area, and they're like little pigs playing, and there's a cafe with tables set out in front of it. So there are pigs drinking cups of tea and talking and chatting. And then that cold autumn wind blows in again. And the candles start going out one by one. And as the candles go out in the jack-o'-lanterns, like these happy, smiling jack-o'-lanterns start to rot and melt. And as they kind of slump over and squish, the smiles begin to fall down into frowns. And so these happy jack-o'-lanterns start to look more like agonized, withering, screaming faces.
Aswin, flies up and tries to take shelter next to one of the lanterns.
You fly up and you start climbing up onto a lantern, and as you do, you look up, and crawling up on top of the nearest building's rooftop, and on top of the rooftop there are still jack-o'-lanterns. You see this giant black silhouette of what looks like a raccoon the size of a grizzly bear. Pitch black, it's like almost two-dimensional, entirely made out of darkness. It blocks out the stars in the sky, and as you see glowing eyes of flame and it appears to be crying out candle wax as just dripping yellow-white wax falls down its face. And it opens up its mouth, and it's just black inside. And it... and its giant tail whips through the air, and its clawed hand smacks a jack-o'-lantern off the roof, and it falls. And as it falls, it like withers and goes through 3 months of aging in real time. It hits the ground and explodes. The shadow is here, you guys. You guys failed 2 things in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds about right. Great start to the episode.
Cool. Right off the bat, the monster's here, guys.
Yeah.
I can't run. I don't have a thing for run.
I am gonna skidoo.
I cannot.
Yeah. Oswin, because you flew up, you're the closest to it, ironically.
Oh.
Yeah. Instant regret.
I would like Tommy, shaking and crying, just goes, "Go away!" And I would like to roll Griff.
Grift?
Oswin is gonna roll Skidoo first.
Yes. Well, I got a 6.
Oh no!
Oh. It's 3
So
fails in a row.
-1
Okay.
Make sure you guys are marking your experience.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. You do a little bat scream, and you flit up and you start flying away. As you do, the shadow leaps gracefully through the air, and all 4 of its giant raccoon paws land on the rope covered in jack-o'-lanterns, and it starts scrambling along the rope, pulling itself, and as it does, the lights, as it passes over the lanterns, they just go out, and it catches up to you, and it reaches out. You give one more little bat scream, and you duck, but as it does, it grabs at you and tears off your bow tie.
Oh no, not the bow tie.
Yeah, I'm having Tommy tears in his eyes. Go away! I'm rolling Griff because I got that.
Also, my little bat scream woke up my cat.
I got an 11.
Nice.
For real?
I got a 5 and a 4 plus 2.
You scream, "Go away!" The shadow rears up, looks at you, wax dripping off of its face, and then it shoves the bow tie in its mouth and it scampers away. And it leaps up into the air and it just vanishes in the night sky.
Huh.
I'd like to say that Oswin basically just dead air plummets to the ground.
I would like to catch Oswald.
I'll let you catch Oswin.
Okay. You won't be wanting that bow tie back, will you?
Can I say Oswin is basically hyperventilating?
Yeah, of course.
No, Tommy and Oswald are both. Tommy managed to start that out.
Okay. Well, the shadow is real.
Carol is surprisingly calm.
We
It's because
should get out of this place
it's
immediately.
because Tommy's freaking out. Carol has that big sister.
She is in shock. This entire time she's like, these people are just crazy. And then it appears almost immediately and she's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're all just in a dark town gathering area surrounded by unlit street lights, lanterns, fallen over melted candles, and rotted jack-o'-lanterns. All of the other pigs have run.
Carol's gonna, holding Osmond in one hand, kind of put Osmond on the shoulder, grab Tommy with another hand, and drag them out of that area.
Yeah.
Maybe on the way out, grab a candle, one of the out candles that are not completely melted, grab that and then light it on the way out on a lit one.
Sure. So now you're holding a candle that you've stolen and lit, and you pull your 2 other kids with you into a lit area of town. Irene had, when the shadow arrived, immediately ducked under your cape and had been hiding there. And as you guys pull, Irene's just like, Oh my gosh, what was that?
The shadow.
Ah!
There we
It
go.
really did steal that guy's pants! It stole also his
did.
little bow tie! Why would it do that?
I would just like to say Carol has put the candle on top of her scepter.
Good.
Like squished it onto it.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's cute.
Tommy is still shaking, but at the same time, it's like that. I can't believe I just did that because Tommy, scared of the dark, sees this giant mass
Yeah.
of darkness and just tells it to go away, and it does. Tommy's like, I can't believe that worked, but like terrified, like,
Tommy's like, I am all powerful. The darkness.
no, it is definitely. I don't know why I said
Hey.
that, but I'm glad I did.
Hey, Tommy.
Huh?
Tommy,
What?
you did a good job. You were very brave.
Thank you. I feel like I'm gonna fall down.
Okay. She kind of leads him over to like a little set of stairs going up to a building and is like, okay, sit down. Sit down. I need to think.
He pops down. Just like not even on a step, like you know how kids will sit with their like in costumes, especially with their legs like little open, like a little.
Oh, you
V.
just pull your legs and arms into the pumpkin.
No, like you know when kids like plop down in something.
They
that's
just like straight legs, just straight
yeah,
out. like-
that,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. With the legs, just and that's
Okay.
Tommy.
Okay. So, we're in a pig town. Candles and lanterns are lit everywhere. Shadow Demon is real. It likes to consume cloth. Does it actually hurt people?
I don't know.
I want my bow tie back.
Okay.
I don't think you're getting your bow tie back. Sorry, Oswin.
But now I'm naked.
Oh no! Okay. I'm going to roll Gander, even though I don't have that. Because there's nothing else I can really think of doing. There's nothing to recite poetry about for this. Nothing that I've got written down currently, at least. Oof. Okay. Mixed success. It's a 7.
Okay. You got a 7? Yeah.
I can
okay.
ask 2 of the questions. One will be true, one will be a lie. I know what I should be wary of. It's the Shadow Demon. Okay. I'm going to ask, who can I trust, and what here is not what it appears to be?
Okay.
I'm
What
afraid.
is here that is not what it appears to be? The Shadow. Who can you trust? You can trust Beauregard, the tailor, for sure.
I don't like the way you said that.
Well, I don't trust Beauregard.
I don't like the way you said.
Except in the game, now we have to trust Beauregard.
Yeah, we have to
because-
trust Beauregard.
Beauregard's the one person you know in this town.
We know Beauregard would probably be either at his shop or at a food place. We know he likes food.
That is true.
Did we see where Beauregard went when he left the train? Or has it been too long since then?
You did not. You did not follow him. You did not.
Okay.
You just watched him get off into town.
Okay, is there anyone nearby?
Just roll a luck check. Just 2d6. Let's just see. Just don't add anything to it. Don't subtract anything. Let's just.
Another 7.
Yeah, there's someone nearby.
Okay, can I, after checking on the other 2, I'm gonna put Oswin onto Tommy's head. Carol's gonna go over to the other one and be like, hi, do you mind if I ask you, do you know a Beauregard?
You walk up to this pig boar. He has dark, thick, shaggy fur. His tusks are like long and curled, but he's like taken care of them really pristinely. He has a high collar that goes up almost to his cheeks and a tiny little poofy ascot. And he has a little top hat he's placed on top of his head that looks a little too small for him. And he goes, well, Beauregard. Yes, of course, I know the town tailor. Fine fellow.
Do you know where I could find him? I kind of need to talk to him.
Oh, of course, we can find our way over to the town tailor. I suppose you must be wanting to find clothes that are a little bit more designed for city life. I should think, yes.
Carol squints and just like a little mouth of, how dare you? But she doesn't say that. She keeps her mouth closed.
Yes, welcome, raggedy children.
The shadow stole my bow tie. I need a new one.
You all ran into the shadow?
It stole my bow tie.
I told it to go away. It was scary, but it went away.
Dark times in Hampstead. Dark times indeed. He turns, and he has like he has one of those coats that has a little waist, like a little mini cape attached to it, and his little mini cape flutters behind him, and he starts strolling through town at a brisk pace.
Oh, okay. You're taking us to Beauregard, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't always like this in Hampstead.
Mm-hmm.
Once the fine boars and piglets of Hampstead lived quite merrily. They went about their business. They frolicked and worked and ate and paid their dues to the Marquis. But all that changed, yes, all that changed when the shadow came to town. See, it was shortly after that kid had come wandering through here looking for their home. I don't remember the name, but of course we couldn't help the poor dear. We didn't know where they were from. Well, shortly after they left, the shadow came crawling out of the woods. Some think the child was claimed and eaten by the shadow. Some think the child was a witch and conjured the shadow from her hatred of not being sent home, and sent the shadow to plague us until we could do another lost child for the good turn of sending them to their mother. But of course we cannot do that. We don't know where they're from. How could we? And every night the shadow comes and plagues the fine pigs of this town, and every day more pants, socks, and ascots go missing.
Okay. Well, starting to kind of maybe piece things together here.
Yes, of course. What?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, of course. Oh, look at that. We're here.
Wonderful!
And the camera pans out, and there's just a little, it's like, Hampstead Taylor, and there's a little, like, sign that, is moving in the wind, and there's lights on inside the shop, and inside you see Beauregard, and he's measuring out a little suit.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Mr.
Porker. Hammy Porker.
Thank you, Mr. Porker.
Yes, of course. Be safe, child. It's not safe in the dark in this town. No, not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? He just freezes and turns, stares off down a street for a moment.
That was your tail, sir. Your tail hit the bush.
Right, of course. Well,
have a good day.
Good day, random children. And he wanders off.
Have a good day, Mr. Porker.
Bye, Mr. Porker.
I can't let myself. Goodbye, pumpkin child.
It's Pumpkin King to you.
So, wait. If we don't get home, are we gonna turn into that thing?
I don't think so.
Oswin. Roll. You're close to something. I want you to roll.
Oh no.
Gander. Yeah, roll Gander. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Hoping that this will be a high one this time. Starting off good. 4 plus 5, so that's 9 plus another 2.
Oh, yeah, 11. Dope.
Okay, you get to ask 2 questions, and I will answer both truthfully. And you are thinking
Okay.
about the monster and what happens to kids that cannot get home.
Yeah. What happened here recently?
You are thinking about it as you're thinking about the Hammy Porker's story, and you remember those boxes of kids' clothes at the town full of cats.
I don't know if Osmond knows about that.
I'm gonna say Osmond does at this point. Also, Osmond was there when that happened, so I believe Osmond.
Yeah,
That's
we
right,
all
Osmond
went
was
to
in
the
Yeah.
clothing
thing.
shop for their
Yeah.
wedding.
You remember Herbert, who seemed like another kid, except like with pointy ears and fairy wings. And you're thinking about the weird way that the Hollow Guard looks. Like, they all look like nutcrackers, but they are like made out. They have weird mixes of toys and costumes painted on over them. And, you know, the Marquis seems scary and sketchy, and it seems like something happens to kids here that turns them into other things. And you realize, of course, something happens to kids here that changes them. It already happened to you. You're a little bat. Irene is a little butterfly.
But I mean, that specifically was the witches.
Yeah, but you think what happened here recently, and you're thinking about like the nature of this place is that things get changed and
Yeah.
mixed around.
Kids don't stay kids.
Kids don't stay kids.
Is that a metaphor for something?
What? A metaphor?
In Riley's podcast? Never.
Miss Spencer, I do believe you have made
That's Mrs.
an
Spencer.
accusation.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
Mrs.
sorry,
Spencer.
Mr. Spencer.
That's Mrs. Spencer to you.
Here's the thing: if I ask what should I be wary of, it's already like staying here too
Yeah.
long. I'm gonna ask again what here is not what it appears to be.
Okay. Do I want? I'll just say, yeah, the shadow. Something's up with the shadow. It doesn't make
Rude.
sense.
But I think with the new light of information, it's this shadow could still be a kid.
That-
kind of
yeah.
thing. Like,
It-
yeah.
Oswin is piecing 2 and 2 together and has reason enough to think that the shadow could have quite possibly been a kid that got lost.
I'm glad Carol
In the
was right,
woods.
because this is exactly what I was thinking already.
Yeah, Oswin and Carol are both thinking, and then they just both get a light bulb at the
Yeah.
same time.
Like, ding.
They both look at each other and they nod knowingly.
I'm just Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's just sitting in
Tommy's
the
just
middle
Tommy.
smiling.
Reese, as the character, was thinking that already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Carol knocks on the door and opens it. Hello, Mr. Beauregard?
Oh, yes. Come in. I say, you look vaguely familiar. Have we
Yeah, we were on the
done
train.
business before? Train, I don't follow.
Oh my god.
The train.
I would think that I would remember riding a train with a little pumpkin man.
Oh my god.
Just that.
The skeleton. Oswald.
Oswald.
Oswald the skeleton lost an arm. And
Margaret, I don't follow. Skeleton? The skeleton.
I don't know.
How macabre.
Badger.
Not how you
A
pronounce
big
that.
badger.
Okay.
He just blinks.
Oswin, like, flies in between Beauregard and Tommy and is like, I need a new bow tie!
Oh, well, of course. I believe I have some bow ties I can provide. That will be 5 shillings. And he was over to a little box and he opens it up and it's just a little wooden box full of bow ties. And he sets it down on the counter.
All these
Is there-
kids just stare at each other, realizing money is a
Does
thing.
there happen to be a little
Oswin
charity
grabs
bowl?
a bow tie and is like, my parents will pay you back later!
What? Wait.
Is there like a little charity bowl, or does he have like a cash register out in the open?
He absolutely does not. Oswin roll grift.
Oh my god!
Okay. If you fail this, I'm just gonna outright steal from this man.
Oh my
Failed
god!
What'd you get?
I failed it.
Oh my god!
Let me see here.
I mean, I'm a -2 to it in the first place. Like,
He yoinks the, bow tie out of your little bat hands and puts it back in the box and closes it. You're, oh, no. I will need the payment now. It's rather dark times in Hampstead, they do say.
Oh boy.
It's
If you
Halloween.
could find your little bat mommy and your little bat daddy and send them down here with the 5 shillings, I will be happy to part with one of my artisanal bow ties. And I'll have it fitted for your little bat neck for an additional 3 shillings. But until then, I'm afraid we cannot do business.
It's Halloween. Have you never heard of trick or treat?
I don't think they know what Halloween
No.
is.
Shh.
What's
you
a
never heard of-
Halloween?
Have you never heard of trick or treat? It's where you give stuff away for kids because we all dress up nicely. And my friend here had one and it was stolen. It was stolen by a shadow.
Roll grift.
Yeah.
Tommy.
I got a 14.
Oh my gosh. Tommy is a powerful convincer. Clothes stolen by the shadow, I know where. And of course, trick or treat. Those words, ancient words, they have power. I shall loan you a bow tie for now. And he reaches into the box and he pulls out a little bow tie and he gives it to Oswin and he ties it around Oswin's neck. And Oswin, now you have a brown and red plaid bow tie.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
it's boring, but I'll take it.
And Tommy goes, thank you, trick or treat.
Carol slowly pulls her hand back from the cash register.
Remember, beware the shadow, lest your souls be lost forever.
Yeah, could I ask you what you know about that?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
I don't know anything.
Are you sure?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, nothing.
Well,
I just got back to town a little bit ago
Yeah.
myself, I must say.
yeah.
I was
and-
away on business.
And you were on a train with us and clearly don't have any recollection or memory of us, so
I think I would remember a train.
you were there, mister. That's how I know your name.
Oh yeah? Well, how'd you get here then?
He pauses and looks genuinely confused for a moment. Like, for a moment, there seems to be something behind his eyes where he's like, wait, how did I? And then it just, it vanishes. Well, I must have gotten here somehow, of course. I presume horse and carriage, find it buggy, perhaps. A boat?
There's no water.
Even Tommy is a little confused by the boat. Like, Tommy's about to say something, and then when he says boat, he's like, Like, you see his little nose scrunch up?
You remember Oreo was a boat builder.
Yeah, and he was very far away.
And he was very far away.
That's why they're like, Tommy goes, okay, well, I scared the shadow off, and I don't know I don't know if I could do it again, so if I knew more, I could do it again. I told it to go away.
Well, I heard from a friend of a friend that her daughter had once been out picking flowers in the nearby forest. Well, she came across a rather interesting breed of flower that she hadn't seen before. These terrible black daisies were growing up out of the thicket. And, well, when she went to pick the flowers for those black daisies, she pushed into them, and bursting out was the shadow, and it ate her hands.
How are her hands?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Daughter of a friend. I can't say I've ever met her.
Y'all need to stop sharing all these stories and doing telephone and all that.
Excuse me, miss, but I am pretty sure that one happened.
It's gossip! It's all gossip!
No, that can't be.
What's gossip?
Truths that you should share with everyone.
Gossip is stories that are told from person to person, and the story gets more twisted the more it's told because no one's telling it right.
I'm pretty sure I told it right. It gobbled up her hands. She lost her hands. That's the story. Scary.
Thou sodden witted lord! Thou hast no more brain than I have in mine elbows!
How dare you!
Goodbye, sir!
Good day, sir! And Carol storms out of the shop.
I would like to roll recite poetry for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been trying to
That
build
was
up
really good.
the tension so I could scream that.
Yeah, I loved that.
Shoot. How do I keep rolling sevens? It's a 7 again, but with different numbers. You're swept up in your own verse. The GM tells you something poetic about the situation. It is up to you to make it useful. Makes sense.
You're like heated, you're angry, this whole town is like really making you frustrated. You're like, you know, these pigs are like, everywhere you go, they're all talking about how bad the shadow is and how you gotta have light to avoid it, and it's stealing clothes and hands and everything. And you just you go on a tirade in your own head about the dangers of gossip and the one's duty to another to like help in a material sense and not just in a general like sense so that you feel better without actually contributing to society. And you get really deep in that. And you're just like, yeah.
14. Isn't Carol like 14?
Yeah, she's 14.
So the beginning of high school, meaning gossip happens a lot.
Yeah, you would have just started high school. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So gossip is
Yeah, she feels good about that interaction, but she doesn't get anything besides that.
Well, Oswin's got a bow tie again. It's not great, but it's a bow tie.
It's better than no bow tie, so we'll take it.
Your bow tie will also can count as your item. I will let you get the item bonus when you use it.
Yay.
Even though it's not your original bow tie.
I don't even remember having my original bow tie as an item. It was just a thing I added.
It was
to
your
my
bow tie.
character.
Your bow tie was your item, because every kid has to start with an item that they can use.
How can you
Oh, wait. I just remembered
Carol's was
something.
her scepter, Tommy's was his pumpkin candy bucket, and Oswin's was...
It's my king's robes and my scepter. And I just remembered, my scepter's broken, so she's just holding the candle.
I do like that she might have put the candle on the broken scepter to, like, kind of make it something.
Yeah.
They step outside the shop, and Oswin's just like,
I bet that guy is getting a lot of money from all this if it's stealing clothes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was actually.
yeah. Oh
My
gosh.
god, it's Beauregard!
That's what I was actually thinking too.
Oh yeah. The gears going in Carol's brain.
Yeah. Oswin's not gonna make that connection, but they are just like,
He must be really happy right now.
Irene is like, but wait, that doesn't quite make sense because he was out of town. He was on the train. So how could he have done that if he was on the train?
You're right. Well, why is it stealing clothes though? Did it start doing that recently?
I mean, I guess I don't know.
Is it working for Beauregard? Okay. I think we need to find the shadow and figure out what's going on. It's like a Scooby-Doo thing.
What? Why are we going after the
Well,
king?
what if we find the witch and have the witch turn the shadow back?
Well, then it'd have to be one of our wishes.
Not if we bring the witch here.
Can she speak shadow? Tommy looks like he's about to have like a philosophical moment as he's like,
I mean, I'm sure someone in the town would want to wish for the shadow to go away.
Which way is north?
You know which way north is. I would say Oswin. Oswin for sure knows which way.
Okay, let's start walking north.
So you guys are heading out of the town to go get the witch, Dahlia, to bring her back.
Yep.
is that what we decided?
Carol just starts marching
I
north.
think that's what you want to
I
do. Okay.
think so?
Alright.
I hate this town. This town sucks. I hate all the people in it. I want this to be over with. These people are dumb.
Don't you say that a lot about your classmates in the
Not all of them. I like some of them.
Oh, that's what you mean by.
Ooh, does Carol have a crush?
But like Tommy's just piecing it together about like the gossip. He's like, oh, that's what you mean by. Oh, you
Look,
said some
there's
bad
a certain
words.
kind of person that I don't like. It's these people.
You said some bad words about them before.
You're not allowed to repeat those words. They're bad words.
They are.
I'm not even allowed to say them.
So why did you say them?
Because sometimes when you're really upset, like when you stub your toe, how it really, really hurts, and you just need to shout something, you know?
Okay, so why can't I say it when I stub my toe?
You're too young to. It's like how when you get your phone at a certain age, like I'm gonna be getting one. No, she would have gotten them early. You know how I just got my phone a little bit ago, but you're not allowed to have one? You get your phone in a few years. You're not allowed to say bad words yet.
Boo.
Yeah, I know, it sucked for me too.
I would like someone to roll something to navigate through the woods.
I'd say Oswin. That's kind of been Oswin's job so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, Osmond is the one that knows the woods. Yeah.
Which means I get special forest expert. Wait, I should have used that in the town. Whoops.
Well, I got a very interesting interaction to start off the episode.
Actually, it's the same role anyway, so I probably still would have failed.
Just a different effect.
Yeah. 7.
7. Is there a consequence for what does it say?
You know where you're going, but it's going to take a detour to get there.
Yeah, okay. You start heading out of the town when you realize it's forest out there, dense forest, and it is pitch black. You're going to need more lights if you're going to go out there.
Yeah, no, if it's pitch black, Tommy, like, digs his heels in. And you know how children can get really heavy when they, like, don't want to? They just put all their weight and it suddenly feels like gravity is not your friend. That's what Tommy does the moment he sees...
Increasing on me.
It's literally the moment he sees that, drops. Like, you're not getting him to move.
Yeah, so I guess we're not going into the forest.
At least not right now.
We have a candle.
One. We need more light than just
Yeah.
one candle.
The consequence of that, like, you need a detour is you have to go get more light because the one candle isn't going to be enough.
Yeah. We need, like, a light for each of us.
Can we go back to the area that was blacked out and get some more of the unlit candles that we can use?
Maybe. That could be a way you go about it.
Yeah, let's go steal some candles.
Okay.
Carol, I think you should roll Gander then, if you're...
Okay.
Or, I don't know, Riley, what do you think that would be?
Making your way back to a specific part of a town that you do not know would need to be a gander, I would say.
I mean, we did just come from there.
But we also followed the other...
You also were... you followed a person you do not know. Also, you were chased out of there to begin with by the shadow. Yeah.
Wow, we're all doing really bad at Gander today. That's a 6.
Okay, gang.
Yeah.
We're all so lost.
You gotta succeed at something eventually.
Hey, I've been succeeding on convincing
Tommy succeeded some stuff.
At convincing a bunch of people to give us stuff.
Okay, okay, I have an idea. No, that'll just make everything... You know what? I'll be incredibly nice and kind.
Yeah, do the Austin Walker thing where we find out something really important, but we don't want it now.
You're walking through town, and as you do, another cold breeze blows through the streets, and the lights flicker.
So...
Okay.
Oswin's like, let's go back the other way.
Into the dark woods?
Oh, so we didn't even make it into town? We're right outside?
You're on the... You wandered to the edge of town. You're like, oh, it's too dark. You turned around, you walked back into town, and you haven't made your way back to where you are yet. So you're still on the outskirts.
So we're trapped between dark and dark.
Yeah. I mean, there are lit jack-o'-lanterns and lanterns and stuff around you on the ground, or hanging up if you want to try and, like, scramble up there and steal them. You think a jack-o'-lantern would be heavy, but...
Open one. What's inside them?
You walk over to a jack-o'-lantern, you open up, there like a melty pool of wax and candles in there.
Oswin's like, I could try and fly up and knock one of those lanterns down if you catch it.
Okay.
Cause mischief.
I rolled a 1 and then a 6.
Oh.
I was like, oh. So I got, a 9.
Oh.
Your scheme works and does one
but any items you used are destroyed in the process. Well, you didn't use your bow tie for this.
No, and I'm not trying to cause harm.
It wouldn't be a success if I broke the lantern you're trying to get down either. So I'm just gonna say you take one harm. It's difficult getting the lantern up overhead with your little rat body.
I bonk my entire body into it.
Yeah,
and it knocks it off.
You take one harm. You get hurt. The lamp falls. Carol catches it. I will say, Carol, you're also gonna take one harm, and that's gonna be
that makes sense.
You both take one harm, but you now have a lantern.
It's a hot lantern.
Yeah,
it caught the glass. It didn't break, but ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now you have a candle scepter and a lantern for Tommy.
Yeah, Tom, please give the lantern to Tommy, the little handle.
Yeah.
Tommy is a
I would not
So
trust
you can
Tommy
put
with a
the
candle.
lantern in the little plastic.
Yes!
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
perfect.
that could be fun.
Exactly. Glowing plastic pumpkin.
Yeah. And Irene flitters over to Tommy and lands on Tommy's head, and she's like, I'll stick with him and make sure he doesn't drop it.
Thank you, Irene.
Oh boy. Okay. Here we go.
Do we think we have enough light for the forest?
I mean, you are the two people, and if the animals stay close to the people, we should be all in light.
Okay. Let's go.
Carol and Tommy, you wander back into the woods up north.
With
It takes about half an hour. It is dark. It's kind of creepy.
Yikes.
You hear weird sounds, and sometimes you think you see the trees moving. And not just like moving in the wind, like crawling along a little bit. The roots dragging it ever slightly to the side. Until you come across a quaint cabin in the woods, surrounded by light, with a pumpkin patch in its garden. And Oswin, this is absolutely the cabin of Dahlia, the head switch, but the cabin wasn't here before. It was in a different location. Yeah, you've never been over this way, you're pretty sure. But there it is.
Osmond's like, this? That was the wedge witch,
Are you okay, Oswin?
I think I'll stay out here.
in the
I
dark?
don't think that's a good idea.
Irene also is like, I don't want to go in there.
Well, we
Okay. I could stick my half remaining scepter in the ground, I guess, like a little torch. And we can leave the lantern outside, I guess. We're going into a lit building. They're staying outside.
Yeah, that'll work. Just don't get turned into an animal in there, okay?
Okay. Reassuring words.
I think I'm pretty good at that.
Don't get turned into a pumpkin, Tommy.
I don't know about that one. Can't make any promises.
Carol does what she says. She puts the scepter into the ground, stuck up like a little torch, puts the lantern next to it, but in a way so that there's enough space for them to sit in the middle if they wanted. And knocks on the door, I guess.
So Carol and Tommy, you walk up and you knock on the door, and after a beat, it opens up and you see a very tall, beautiful woman inside.
Pretty.
She has kind of shoulder length wavy chestnut hair, like a darker skin tone, chestnut hair to her shoulders. She's dressed up in like one of those old-fashioned dresses with a kind of a fur shawl over her shoulders, and on her head is a wide-brimmed witch hat. She sees you two and smiles and steps to the side and gestures to come in.
Trick or treat.
Okay, we'll be trick-or-treating inside, Tommy.
Okay. Tommy's like, cool.
Carol and Tommy, you step into this cabin. Irene and Oswin, you are in the light. You are watching Carol and Tommy step into the cabin of this witch. And then she stands in the doorway, turns and looks at you, just makes eye contact with you, and slowly closes the door.
Is there a window?
Yes, there are windows.
Oswin just once she closes the door, Oswin just bolts over and sits, peeks into a window. That way, if there's some reason I can know what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like Carol also would have, put the lantern and the scepter, under one of the windows.
Yeah.
So you just have to climb up a little.
Okay. So Carol and Tom, you're in this cabin and it's very homey. It's well lit in here. there's a lot of furs and quilts and blankets placed all over, lots of soft couches and things. It's very cozy inside. But hanging from the ceiling and from the rafters, there are like bags of herbs and like nets full of garlic and weird like rosemary being nailed to the sides of like the walls and things. There's just on a windowsill, she's strewn old autumn leaves and sprinkled it with like spices and things like that. There's a little dish on her table, the kind that like normally is full of like a little snack or candy or something, you know. But it just has like random garbage in it. There's like some needles, a fish hook, an acorn, a ball of twine, a spider web wrapped around a stick, an old rabbit's foot.
It's the bowl where ADHD people just put whatever they don't know where to put. Very, very homey in here. I like what you did with the place. What? What?
I don't know, that line just got me so bad.
I don't know if you're
What's your
being
problem?
sarcastic or not, and it's so funny.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. When one is forced to spend a lot of time in an area, one does their very best to be made comfortable inside of it. Please make yourself at home. My name is Dahlia, the Head's Witch, and I am pleased to make your acquaintance. You must be Carol and Tommy, correct? And that would be my two little associates, Oswin and Irene, outside.
Yes, from what I hear, you might have met them before, under less than ideal circumstances.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Less than
Well, at
ideal
least for one of them.
Oswin, but
She makes her way over to like a big comfy like armchair and like sinks into it and gets really comfortable. She flicks her wrist and there is just a cup of like cider, like just a mug full of cider in it. She brings it up to her lips and it takes a little sip. How may I help you, Carol, Tommy? I suppose you want wishes granted.
Well, maybe later. We were actually wanting to ask you about the shadow in the nearby town.
She grimaces.
Yeah, do you happen to know anything about it, or know how to stop it?
I suppose I could.
but I know that tone. That's when all adults want something, and you don't know what it is, but you just know it's not going to be fun.
Well, you see, I am rather limited in what I can do, and what you're asking is rather dangerous. The Marquis of the Woods wouldn't approve, you know.
It doesn't seem like he would approve of anything, really.
Oh, no, he approves of many things. Things that he wants, and those are the things he gets. Now, I, of course, have set up various protection spells to keep me out of the way of the Marquis's gaze, and she gestures to the autumnal leaves sprinkled on the window seals that has the spices over it, and when she gestures, she sees Oswin, like, peering in from the window, and she kind of wiggles her fingers at Oswin.
Oswin kind of, like, just shrinks back down.
Greedy child.
Yeah, he's a kid. It's not his fault.
Well, no, I suppose it is not, but children must learn their lessons somehow.
Yeah, so you send them to their room, or give a little slap on the back of the wrist.
I believe I've done something equivalent. Now,
You did the equivalent of locking your child in the basement for all eternity.
Have I now?
Carol,
Yes!
Carol, no. Tommy's like, Abort! Go, flee! Like, Tommy's like,
Tommy just thinking, Carol just thinking of how she would never do anything like that to Tommy and would make sure nothing like that ever happens to Tommy.
Dahlia kind of rises up to her full height and takes another sip of cider from her mug. She goes, "And I suppose you would know all about that, wouldn't you? Since you must have so much knowledge of giving orders and deciding things. Little Queen Carol."
Have you ever had someone that you loved? That you would do anything for?
You should meet my son. And she gestures at a door, and it opens, and as it does, a little fox comes out.
Did you turn him into that too?
Why, yes, I did.
Is he happy?
No, not at all, but once he's learned his lesson, he'll turn right back.
How long has he been like this?
I'm not sure.
that does seem a little mean.
You know, children have this thing where if you don't talk to them and let them know what they did wrong, they won't learn.
He knows what he did wrong. It's very clear.
Does he know how to make amends?
Yes, he does.
Are you sure?
He just doesn't want to do it.
Okay. Carol kneels down to the little fox and says, "Hi, I'm Carol. What's your name?"
The fox licks you.
Can he not talk?
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. I see you've really done a number on your son here. He physically cannot make amends.
Oh, no, he can.
How
it
would
is
he do
well
that?
within his capabilities.
He can't talk. How would he? He's a fox. He doesn't have opposable thumbs, and he can't
just needs
talk.
to give back what he stole, and once he has, the curse will be broken. Just like the curse on Oswin will be broken once Oswin learns his lesson.
That he's a malnourished child?
Her eyebrows go up. He goes, "Carol, you would do best to watch your tone. What I do here is not malicious. The nature of this place is that it takes you and changes you into something else, which is a large part of how my magic works. And another nature of this place is that children here get lost. Not just physically in the woods, but also on the path of life, one might say.
Yeah, I get what's going on here. I've read enough Hansel and Gretel, I've read enough fairy tale stories, Peter Pan. People get lost, they learn their lesson, they have a whole morality tale. That we're gonna each have our own little moral story, then we learn a thing, and then we go home. I've read enough stories of those.
Oh, her face fully drops. She looks very unhappy with you, Carol.
I know what's going on here. And
I
see that you're not going to help us. So, Tommy, we're going.
I never got a chance to explain how one might help before you started making moral decisions about my magic and how this place works. I never got to explain how you could help before you started making decisions about how I live my life. Didn't you, Queen Carol? But I now see the wish I will grant you.
No!
She snaps her fingers, Carol.
No!
Okay.
No!
You feel your arms turning into wood. Your arms turn into Nutcracker arms, but they are painted to look like the Nutcracker is dressed up like a king.
Stop it! My sister's just trying to make it, and she's very opinion.
Yes.
Adults think they know best.
Well,
Sometimes they don't.
neither do kids. And that's the issue.
Someone else here thinks they know best as well. Little Queen Carol.
Hey,
Once you've learned your lesson, the curse will be broken. But unfortunately, until you do, you will continue to be transformed into one of the Hollow Guard.
Okay, fine. I don't care what happens to me. You know what I care about.
the Carol, shush, and Missy, you said Dahlia?
Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
listen. Look me in the eyes and listen. Sure, Carol can be... I love my big sister. Sometimes I don't like her. And that's okay. Because my mommy says people are complicated. People are complicated, and kids just as much so. And you know what she says to me? Sometimes kids know best, but sometimes adults do. And in this moment, I don't think either of you know best because don't interrupt me. Because Carol is just trying to do what's best for me. And I know that. I know my sister cares. But you think, and so her view is blinded by if something like what you've done with your son, or Oswald or Irene,
You wave at Watson. Watson lifts up a little paw and waves at you.
or Oswald and Irene. And that's why she's mad. Because sometimes I do something and Mommy and Daddy have to explain it. But even then I won't get it until Carol explains it. And that's why she's upset. You can't, but the thing is that you acted out of your own emotions too. And that just leads to messes. And that's what Mommy says. So,
She sighs and takes another long sip of cider from her mug.
Can you please stop turning my sister into a nutcracker? Because if you do, I know I'm gonna start crying, and I don't know how to stop. And he's already starting to cry. Like, just this little...
Carol kneels down and, does the thing that she normally does of hugs you close and, strokes your hair, but, tries to do it more gently now because she doesn't know what the wood's like.
You got nutcracker arms. They're not very well jointed. They only bend at the elbows and at the wrist.
Which is why, like I said, Tommy is like... And he
Carol takes a breath and says... She doesn't look at Dahlia, but she's just looking straight ahead. And she says, I never said I knew best.
Oh, you did, child.
I just want to do what's best for Tommy.
Then you will remain silent. She gestures and a cauldron walks into the room and then sits down near her. And she starts waving her finger under it and something starts moving in it. And she goes, the spell I put on you is rather simple. It will break as soon as you've learned the lesson that you need to. I don't feel particularly inclined to inform you of what you've done. I believe you are well aware on your own. Just like the spell placed on Oswin will break once he's learned his, and the spell placed on Watson's will break once he has learned his. However, the Marquis is far less generous and kind than I. There is no lesson you learn from dealing with the Marquis. The Marquis is not interested in the well-being or welfare of children. If you complete this potion and take it to the shadow and give it to the shadow, the spell will be broken and the shadow will return to its original form. However, I cannot leave this building. So you will need to complete the potion by gathering the remaining ingredients for me, bringing it here, and then taking the potion to the shadow.
Okay. What are the ingredients? Yeah.
I require graveyard dust, a black daisy, and a firefly to complete this particular potion.
They talked about Black Daisy. I don't know where any graveyard is. And then a firefly? I haven't really seen any since we've been here.
Well, if you go looking, I'm sure you'll be able to find one. They shouldn't be too far from the cabin, though it might not be safe. I would recommend you take your lights with you. The graveyard dust can be found somewhere near the town, I believe. And the black daisies will be in the woods, actually quite near here.
Okay. Just a quick question. What do we do about the shadow stealing clothes?
I suppose you'll have to ask the shadow to give them back.
Oh, okay. And Tommy's just like, a little bit hyperventilating. He's like, I guess it's literally I guess it's up to me now. I'm so underqualified, but Tommy doesn't know that's how he puts it. He's just like, this is a lot of pressure. I am 6. Okay, Miss Dahlia, you have to promise you can't, stay here. Because your husband had a weird reaction.
Oh, I literally cannot leave this building.
I meant, the spot. The whole thing. Your whole garden.
She raises an eyebrow.
What? Carol's not the only one that's seen and read stuff. I mean, Mommy's read it to me before, but I'm starting.
I will do my best, little Tommy, to make sure that my cabin does not wander away.
Thank you.
And Carol, little Queen Carol, I would be careful making proclamations from here on out. And she gestures at the door and it opens.
Tommy makes his way out in his little pumpkin outfit.
Jamie, are you still here?
I'm livid.
You've been quiet for such a long time that I was like,
Jamie is very mad.
Jamie, are you okay?
I hate this woman. I hate this woman with a passion.
Okay, we're good though, yeah? No bleed through?
We might be. We might have a problem, Riley.
Okay. You understand that this is a witch in a spooky Halloween game that is known for turning children into things. So it's kind of wild that y'all went to the witch to solve your problem.
I mean, the witch helped because...
The witch did help, because the witch can help.
Okay,
But
sometimes they're actually nice. And even if they turn things into animals, sometimes it's just because they're quirky.
okay,
Not a-
baby. Okay.
Sorry, I have to take that out. Not a jerk.
Not a witch with a bee on her bonnet. That's what my mom used to say.
Did we ever determine what our parents were?
There was some talk about, you discussed that the fact of that your parents were discussing getting a divorce. But only Carol knew about it because she's the only one that old enough to understand, and Tommy doesn't know. But I don't know.
Okay.
And one of your teachers works at the school you go to and is like an English teacher or a theater teacher. I forget which one. And that's why they got you the complete works of Shakespeare, and that's why Carol is like an extra Shakespeare kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I remember about the parents.
Yeah, I remembered something about divorce, but I didn't want to say that in case that was just like a thing in my head, or if we actually talked about that.
I don't remember, but Tommy wouldn't know anyway. So.
Yeah. I think on their way out, Tommy's like rushing out to go get the other two and excitedly doing whatever, the way Tommy does. And Carol stops in the doorway. She doesn't turn, but she just says, "It's people like you. You are the reasons my parents don't like each other."
Maybe if your parents had been turned into two little mice, they would have figured out how to work along better.
But then that wouldn't be best for us.
She shrugs and goes, "That's not how the magic works." and flicks her finger and the door closes.
It's not how the world works.
Oswin is instantly in Carol's face, just like flapping around like, Carol! Oh my goodness! Okay.
Oswin,
what
I'm
happened?
fine. I'm fine, Oswin. I feel literally the same. The creaks of her arms.
I couldn't hear anything from out here. I saw it. I saw something happen. And...
I don't know. I guess I'm a woodcracker now. Nutcracker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel fine. I feel great. I feel invincible now. I'm made of wood.
that's not.
If
What
anything,
is-
she did me a favor.
What is extremely not invincible?
Yeah,
Well, it's more invincible than child flesh.
I guess.
and
Do
Tommy
you,
just.
do you feel, weird? Does it feel weird to move them? Can you still move them? Okay.
Well, it's a little bit stiff. I gotta put some muscle into it. But honestly, I don't feel the same way that I used to. I don't know. It feels like there's oil between my bones, but I don't have bones. It's like my
Oh.
body is bones.
Ah,
I don't
please
know
stop
how I
talking.
feel.
So she didn't help?
She did. We just have to get the ingredients because she can't leave. But she told us it was a black daisy, like the one in the myth. Yeah. Graveyard dust. I don't know how to get that. Isn't that a little rude? I feel like that's a little rude. And then
It's okay. I'll do the grave robbing.
That's
Oh,
so
no.
rude. A firefly. That I can never say that word.
A firefly?
That, yes, that's what she needs. We need to get those and then bring it back to her. But yeah,
Here's what I want to do. There are 3 kids and 3 things that you all need to get. Who
Oh, we're not
goes?
splitting up.
we are not splitting up.
I
Are
can't.
you-
Okay. Well,
No.
the
We
way
are totally splitting up.
the way I'm gonna do it is one of you has to get each item, even if you all go together. So I'm gonna make it a roll from everyone. You
Yeah,
can make
okay.
it whatever roll you want. Just tell me which one you're going after.
Definitely Oswin can't go by himself.
But Oswin can get the
I
firefly.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
I guess. And there's lights there.
Actually, Oswin's gonna say that. Oswin's like, a fire? Well, neither of you guys can fly, so I guess that's the one I'll have to do.
yeah, and also, I know that being turned into a bat wasn't what you would want, but bats are really cool. They have these cool echo something to do with echoes, and so you can locate things, and they're really cool in general. So you know what? Yeah, you got this. You got this, Oswin.
Yeah, Oswin, do you want to go catch a firefly?
Yes.
Absolutely. Oswin, what are you gonna use to catch a firefly?
His wings and his mouth.
I meant what move,
Oh.
you goober.
I guess that would be a cause mischief,
You
or
absolute doofus. Yeah, I'll take cause mischief. How do you get the firefly? With my wing. Did you just, what are we doing? Okay, roll your cause mischief.
Honestly, I thought you meant whether or not I was going to use an item or something.
No, yeah. I'm gonna be
Oh my
honest, I
gosh.
don't think your bow tie gives you a +1 to firefly catching.
No.
It's not cool
Oswald's
enough.
not going to be happy about having to hold this in his mouth, though, 'cause he assumes it needs to be alive.
Yeah. Maybe.
So he is going to grab it and have to hold it until, I don't know, I guess Tommy would be the one.
Tommy can grab it. Tommy's not afraid of bugs.
Ooh! We could put it in Tommy's, basket.
Oh,
Cover
yeah.
the top.
Yeah. What'd you get?
I got a cause mischief is needle, right?
Yeah.
I got a 7.
Okay, good.
Your scheme works and does 1 harm, but any items you use are destroyed in the process. Okay. You're not using an item, so we get a scene of you all wandering
So I
through
get hurt
the
again.
woods looking for fireflies, and you finally see one. Osmond and Irene take off and you work together to kind of corral the fireflies into a certain area. One is flying away. It's getting away. Osmond, you take after it. You're flapping your little bat wings as hard as you can. You're getting closer and closer, and you open up your mouth. You catch it, and you smack into a tree, and you take one harm.
Aw.
Yep.
But you got the firefly. You just bonked your head.
Yeah.
You got too caught up in
and
catching it. Yeah.
I guess we'll just keep it inside of Tommy's basket. Does Tommy's maybe Tommy can use the hat as a lid or something?
Oh no, you know how lanterns they can open up?
There's like a it's like
Yeah,
there's a
inside
candle
there.
in there though. If you want to take out the candle and put it out and then like do that thing of where you catch a bunch of fireflies in the lantern, so now the fireflies are the source of light in the lantern, we can do that.
Yes.
That sounds cute.
Let's have more fireflies than we need.
Yeah, I was thinking
But it's good because fireflies can't go out like a candle can.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're all sitting around this lantern, corralling fireflies into it, and just like, yes, this is gonna work. This is great.
Yeah, and like Tommy's like, yeah, did you know that they're all like they're trying to like kind of show off so that they can make more fireflies.
Wonderful.
Carol has kind of shoved the second candle on top of the scepter too and kind of squished them together. So they're semi one candle.
Mega candle scepter.
Mega kinda.
It crosses your mind that if your arms catch on fire, you don't know what will happen. But, who?
For Tommy! Squish!
Yeah.
She has a moment of, do I feel pain? And like sticks her finger in the hot wax.
A little. Not all that bad, though.
Not
It's
as
a
bad as it
tingle.
would be.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now I can defend Tommy with my body.
No!
Carol's like, okay, how can I use this to my advantage?
Yeah, wonderful. That's what you gotta do with a witch's curse, is it's
I'll
always...
show you which.
Yes.
This is better for me.
There's always a thing about a witch's curse is that it's actually pretty helpful, and always in the specific ways that help the kid solve the quest.
I'll show you which. Turn
Okay,
me into a wooden boy.
It's like that story thing of exactly like a witch is like, I'm gonna turn you into a werewolf to teach you the meaning of humility, and then like the kid has to go on a magical quest to cure himself, and then it's like, oh no, we've bumped into some sort of problem that can only be solved by a large wolf-like creature.
Riley, I think that's just you wanting to be turned into a cool werewolf.
No, I'm using werewolf as my example, but like that trope of
Yeah.
children's storytelling
Yeah.
where the
No, I
curse
know.
is exactly what you need to go on the journey to fix the curse. That
It's
kind of thing,
Pinocchio.
yeah, Pinocchio. Yeah,
All right, we got 2 more items to find,
a black daisy and graveyard dust. Who wants to take which?
and we're feeling a lot safer with our firefly lantern, even
Mhm.
though there's no actual proof it's safer.
I'm not letting Tommy go to the flower by himself.
Like, all these fireflies could drop dead in an instant if the shadow shows up, but we feel like it'll work.
I feel like it'll work.
I mean, like, listen. Tommy told it, just believed if he said go away, it would go
Look,
away, and it
if worse-
did. So
If worst
Tommy,
comes to worst, just light me on fire.
what? No!
I'm sure I'll be fine.
Oh my god! But in the way Tommy views it is that if he believes enough that it'll work, the fireflies will work. But also Tommy explicitly said, "Isn't that a little rude to take graveyard dirt?" Like Tommy's like, that just sounds
to be clear,
mean.
she didn't say you had to steal it out of a coffin or anything, just like
Yeah.
dust.
You know, just
So
on
you-
top.
It's
yeah.
not even grave dirt, it's graveyard
Yeah,
dirt.
so
like,
you don't have to like desecrate a tomb to get this or anything.
Well, I think that just the way Tommy views it is that like graves are like a thing, a very like just something. He doesn't know how exactly to explain it, but just like you don't mess with graves. I don't know why.
Yeah. Tommy, you're absolutely right. You do not disrespect a gravesite. We are going to ask politely. We tell them thank you, and it's for a good cause.
I was thinking Carol was gonna be like, but I will.
Yeah, she's trying to tell Tommy, like, it's gonna be okay, but Carol's totally like, I'll do crimes for Tommy.
I
Carol can do the graveyard.
Okay.
What would that be?
Yeah, what role do you wanna let's see.
What role do you have for take dirt?
Honestly, let's just say like this is like do you want to roll Skidoo? Because we said it's close to the it's closer to the town than it is to Dahlia's. So maybe you gotta hurry to get it and come back.
Okay, a -2. Great.
It doesn't have to be Skidoo. You can roll
I
something.
would like it to not be Skidoo.
Yeah, it can be something else. I was just suggesting some options.
I don't know. I guess Gander. I can look for a good amount of dirt.
Yeah.
Something that's not clay, not mud. Make sure it's dust. These dice are garbage.
What'd you get?
I got a 2.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Not even salvageable.
I rolled a 4 -2.
I was gonna say, you know how you have recite poetry? I was thinking possibly something extra spooky is you would say something in regards to Hamlet.
I looked at the stuff that I have, and I don't really have anything good for this.
So, Carol,
Yeah.
you get lost and separated from the other kids.
You know what it is? I tell them to stay behind at the edge of the graveyard as I go in.
You walk up to a tombstone. You basically just like brush the dirt off it, and you kind of actually lean down and end up like cleaning this tombstone a little bit, and you just kind of take the dust and the dirt that's gathered on top of it.
Yeah, she dusts off the top, but then
Yeah.
it looks weird because the top is clean and the rest isn't, so she dusts off the rest of it.
And then you turn around and you don't remember how you got in here, and you wander around until you eventually find yourself outside of the graveyard. But the other kids aren't there, and you have no idea where they are or where you are.
Circle around?
Sure. We're gonna come back to you. Tommy,
Yeah,
you gotta go find that black daisy.
do.
Okay. I'm gonna guess that's a gander for you.
Oh my gosh, are you leaving even though I told you to wait?
I mean, we are on
Carol doesn't want you to go to that black flower that a shadow stepped out of.
That's Tommy's character flaw. Like, that's the thing that...
That's what the
if Dahlia turned Tommy into something, it would have been like a legless pumpkin boy, because he needs to learn to stop wandering off.
Okay, but that's how I'm playing a 6-year-old. I was like, okay, we have a good 6-year-old. What's the issue? He wanders off all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if she had done that to Tommy, she would have been so livid. She'd be like, what if he needs to run for his life? What does he do?
Okay, Gander.
She's like, you'll actually find that the pumpkin shape is exactly what you need to complete your quest. And it's like, you go on a journey, and as you go, Tommy's learning all about patience and how it's important to stay with your sister. And at one point you come to a puzzle, and it's like, if only someone was a perfect little legless pumpkin boy.
I got an 8 on Gander.
So you get to ask 2 questions. I answer both, but one is a lie.
Okay, so what here is not what it appears to be, and what should I be wary of?
What you should be wary of is that you have lost track of Carol, and you don't know where Carol is. And what here is not what it appears to be. Nothing, man. These flowers are totally normal and cool, and you walk up, you find a little bush of black daisies that are kind of growing thick out here, and you just pick a couple and you're holding them, and they smell good and they're normal.
I always expect, like, one truth and one lie thing to be, like, Riley to be coy and play him off as both sounding very true.
Yeah, but I hate doing that because I don't like lying to you. I don't...
Aww.
Like, a DM shouldn't be an unreliable narrator. I am the system by which the world is experienced, so I feel weird about lying. So like I always make it clear what is the false information, because I want it to be more like I'm lying to the characters and not to the players, because
Yeah.
I don't think I should lie to the like
I
the DM
guess.
should not be an unreliable narrator. Anyway,
Okay, so yeah, sounds good.
Me.
Tommy just grabs them and just.
yeah, normal flowers, man, for sure.
They're cool.
How many do you pick, Tommy?
There's 4 of us, so Tommy picks 4. 1 for each.
Oh,
Okay. Put that in your inventory.
Oh no.
You all find your way back to Dahlia's cabin, but yeah, Carol isn't there. Carol, you gotta find your way back to Dahlia's cabin all on your own.
do I want to go back to Dahlia's cabin?
Tommy.
That's how you're gonna break the spell on the shadow.
Yeah,
And also Tommy.
Yeah. Oh, and also Tommy's there.
it's true. I do need to find Tommy.
Wouldn't it be a shame if he got turned into a perfect little legless pumpkin boy?
Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. So, she's really freaking out. Like, she hates being away from Tommy, especially when she knows that he wanders off. She can't tell if he just wandered off or she came out in the wrong spot. But she starts circling around the outside, trying to figure out what's familiar, what's going on, and she starts panicking, getting worse and worse, calling Tommy's name, trying to find him. And after a moment, she stops and says, "Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast." And she's going to try and calm herself, take some deep breaths, and look around better. So instead of doing Gander, I'm going to do recite poetry.
Yeah, I love it when Jamie pulls this, where she's like, "But what if I had said some Shakespeare? And that somehow magically solved my problem." I love it.
Let's see. I'm rolling like garbage today. It doesn't do anything. I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6?
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 mean things I can do to you.
Oh boy.
Okay, you know what? Here's what's happening. You're pretty sure you calm yourself with the poetry. You're pretty sure you know which way you're going. You start heading back into the woods because you're like, it was north. And I can see the city from here. So you reorient yourself and you start going that way. And, you're thinking about your interaction with Dahlia, I bet, when the candles get blown out by a stiff, cold autumn wind.
Okay.
And the leaves kick up around you. And you feel a soft glow from behind you, and you turn and you see a giant bear-sized shadow raccoon with glowing eyes dripping wax.
Are there candles in its eyes?
It doesn't look like it. Its eyes are just like kind of pools of light that are pouring out candle wax.
You know what? I've got nothing to lose right now except Tommy, so I'm a wooden boy now. What's it gonna do to me? She stops running.
Carol's
Come
like,
at
well,
me.
I guess I'm Pinocchio.
I faced off a witch today. She turned me into wood. What you gonna do to me?
Brace yourself.
Still your
Okay.
hat, probably.
She's so tired.
It is like the middle of the night, and none of these kids have slept since they woke up on the train.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, yeah.
Also,
Okay.
it's at half health.
Luckily, I have Steam, so that's a 7.
Okay.
I'm rolling like garbage.
On a stone tonight, cancel 1 incoming harm, but garner attention of the attackers. I will say, bump that up to cancel 2. Because of your wooden arms.
Oh,
Ooh.
it does more than 1 damage?
Yeah.
Your arm is an item now.
I will let your arms count as items for, they are wood. You don't feel pain as much with them. Because that's also the thing with these witch curses is they're always kind of actually pretty helpful.
Yeah. Or maybe just not being human, that's helpful. Like,
yeah. It roars up, it reaches to bite. You throw up your hands and it just bites into your wooden hands, and then it lifts you up and you're just dangling with your wooden hands. You take no harm because it deals 2 harm. And you're just hanging from this thing's mouth.
I'm gonna stick my hand into its face.
Yeah, okay.
Just kind of dig around in there, see if I find anything.
Is this a hurt?
Curiosity?
Sure. Yeah, what are you, trying to do, exactly?
See if there's...
Does Carol even know?
I don't think she does. She's on a kick right now. She's going off just pure adrenaline and dumbassery. She's looking for, anything that might be in there, something that's causing this monster to exist, or maybe just a person face in there that she can grab. Is there someone in there or something? I'm trying to see if I have something I can say to it. Ooh, I think I found a good one. Are you sure that we are awake? It seems to me that yet we sleep. We dream. And she's digging around in its face.
Okay, so you're reciting poetry. Sure, what'd you get?
Ooh! Carol's spicy now.
Carol's spicy now!
What'd you get?
That is an 11.
Oh, damn.
Wonderful. Your prose contains something important to your world. The DM tells you something useful about your current situation. I know what happened. You reach into the mouth and you feel something. And you grab it and you pull and the raccoon gags and and you pull out a pair of large pants.
Oh my god!
And you're now holding just these old tiny pilgrim pants in your hand, and you drop as the raccoon gags you out. You run through the woods with these pants, and the raccoon chases you. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Do I need to roll something?
I'm gonna just say I'm tired of you rolling failures, you bad D&D player.
Look, I rolled 1 well.
Not good enough. You're bad at this game, and I don't like you anymore.
Riley's gonna play the rest of the game for us so we can...
Yeah. You get back to the heckin' cabin. Oswin and Tommy, you're waiting outside of the cabin where you hear screaming and just the breaking of trees and thudding behind you, and you turn and you see booking it up the pathway as fast as she can go is Carol, and right behind her is the shadow.
Yeah, what happens when they get closer
speed
to the light?
Carol, if you dive into the light, the shadow gets up as close as it can and then rears back and hisses and then slinks back a little bit. The ring of light that is surrounding the cabin seems to be warding it off.
Yeah. There's a moment where she's just lying on the ground, half in an up position, but half mostly down. And she turns to the witch and says, "Hey, thanks for turning me into this, actually. I don't have to breathe anymore, so my asthma's gone, actually.
No,
so
you still would need to breathe. It's only your arms so far. You haven't done anything to quicken the curse, yeah.
Well, I actually don't really feel pain anymore, and I don't get tired when I run."
Dahlia steps outside and looks at the shadow pacing and looks at you, and she goes, "Yes, that is how it works." There are little helpful things included in each little wish and curse. Come inside.
Not a wish and currently not a curse, so.
Well, that's the thing about the magic, is there's a fine line between them. Each is kind of both, but never mind. Come inside.
Yeah, Tommy just holds up the fireflies and the daisies.
Okay. One firefly and one daisy. Place it into the cauldron.
Carol's just got a handful of dust.
Yeah. All of the graveyard dust.
Shoop.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
I throw it at the witch.
Carol, you drop it in. She again does that thing of where she's moving her finger over the cauldron, but as it stirs as if there's something like longer inside of it. And as it stirs, the color changes from this misty green to like a deep purple, and then to a kind of waxy, like light white kind of color. And then it kind of solidifies and cools off. And now it looks like a cauldron of milk? Or like eggnog, maybe? She walks into her kitchen and comes back with a little old-fashioned tin ladle, dips it in, pulls out, and hands the ladle to you, Carol.
Okay.
Does she... How...
And then feeds it to her cat and tells us to go get some frogs.
Ooh, if she did that, I'd be so mad.
I also would be so mad.
The potion should be potent enough to undo the Marquis's magic on the young child.
Oh.
The first time that Tommy has made the connection of what we're doing.
No, Tommy would have been higher pitched. That's me, Reese, remembering one of the opening slash endings, going, oh, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Reese is starting to put the mystery together. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so rare that my players do that.
Welcome to the team.
Exhausting. Okay. So yeah, you have this like spiced milk in a tin ladle for this raccoon monster.
Carol debates tasting it and then lowers it down.
Oh, it won't break yours.
Oh no, I just wanted to see what it tasted like.
Oh, then feel free. It'll taste like spiced milk. It's actually quite lovely.
Can I taste?
Just don't drink all of it.
She sticks her finger in and licks her finger.
Yeah, it tastes like warm spiced milk and honey.
They also haven't eaten anything in, since the wedding.
It's also magic, so... We're in a magic world where time doesn't really exist.
Dahlia sees you sipping some of the milk and sighs, walks back into her kitchen and comes back with little mugs and gives all the kids little mugs.
Tommy does the little grabby hands kids do when they're really excited and they're eagerly waiting for you to give it to them.
Just leave some to break the spell, or we'll need to make the whole thing all over again.
I've got the ladle.
Okay. Yeah, it's spiced milk with honey. It's a good little treat for cold autumn nights.
So Osmond's really nervous about
Tommy is almost, you know how kids will take a sip of something and then chug it when they like it?
Yeah.
That's Tommy. Takes one sip, eyes widen, chugs it.
It's got some cinnamon in there. It's good.
Yeah. So Osmond does wait to see Tommy drinking it, and then Oswin drinks in, because Oswin is starving.
I don't know why it's called spiced milk, when really the only spice is I guess it's cinnamon and nutmeg, so that's 2 spices. That
Yeah,
counts.
you can add more, like mace and stuff.
Yeah.
It adds different flavors.
It's probably at this point that you guys do remember you put it a evil flower, a bug, and graveyard
Carol
dust in there.
takes a sip and then is I think my appetite's kind of ruined, considering what we put in this.
Tommy doesn't care.
Oswin was banned from a town for drinking the hot chocolate well.
The toffee well, yes.
Toffee well, yeah.
Hey, Oswin, you can drink this. It's being gifted to you.
Oswin will absolutely drink the second cup.
Yeah. Oswin is just
Despite
swimming
being a
around
tiny
in the
bat,
mug.
he is already just like
Oh boy. Oh,
drunk
you've
in
got
his
the
weight.
little baby kitten thing when they drink too much milk. Osmond's tummy is just so round.
Yeah.
She takes a little mug and she carries it over to Watson, her son, and places it down, and her little fox son starts drinking out of it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
what does
Carol averts her eyes and tries not to say anything.
Carol? What do you do?
Carol, you
Yeah.
gotta go give the ladle
How are we gonna?
to the shadow.
Well, I don't really feel pain anymore. So, and I kind of just stuck my hand into its face and pulled out these pants. So, do I just need to shove this in its face?
I mean, if it
Yeah, it'll need to drink it, yes.
bites you again, you just drop it down its throat, right?
Okay. Carol walks outside.
Okay. Yeah, there's a big shadow monster prowling
like,
around out there
"Bite
at the
me."
edge of the light.
Yeah, she goes to the edge of the light, steps right outside, and is just, come at me!
Just
Okay.
holds the ladle out. So
I'm
it
gonna
can
say this
bite.
is a cause mischief.
Okay, it's a -2 for me.
I'll also let it be a hurt. Like if you fling the milk at it.
Yeah, I'm punching it in the face with the ladle full of milk.
Hiya!
Here. you hold it
Whoa!
out like it's a sword, and you just forward thrust.
14!
Damn! Dang!
That could be
On 10
either
plus,
cause.
do 1 harm and your foe does not act for another turn. Also, it has milk in its face and a ladle sticking out of it. And also my arm.
You yeet it into the raccoon's face. And the raccoon rears back and starts to gag. And its shadowness starts to goop off of it like black wax. And as it's doing, like, it looks like it's melting. Like it was a wax creature almost, and it's all pooling off because of extreme heat. I mean, as it's doing,
Carol,
it's gagging.
sorry, Carol just does a real quick battle cry of just, I fear nothing!
And it retches over you, and for a moment you think it's gonna throw up, and then just like laundry, just a stream of laundry pours out over Carol.
And
Oh,
the
boy.
little tiny bow tie.
And a little tiny bow tie involved. Lots of pants, some socks, a shirt, like a little ascot, all sorts. No hands, no corpses, nothing like that. Just clothes. And you're just covered in clothes. And when you manage to wrestle yourself out of this pile of dirty laundry, you see in front of you a little kid, roughly your age. She looks 12 or so. She has frizzy, curly hair and bright green eyes, and she's coughing. She's dressed up in a little raccoon Halloween costume.
Oh. Carol kneels down next to the little girl and just kind of says, hey, you want some milk?
Hi. Yeah?
Yeah, come on inside. We got some milk inside.
Okay. She gets up and kind of confused, looks at all the clothes, looks around, doesn't recognize where she is, seems very confused and lost, and kind of stumbles into the cabin
Yeah,
with you.
You're okay now. You're safe.
Tommy just goes, hi! I'm Tommy!
Hi!
Oswin from his mug is like, cheers!
My name is Agnes. Have you seen my brother?
Oh.
I was with him, but I think I got lost.
What's your brother's name?
My brother's name is Herbert.
That guy!
We know an Herbert, right?
You do know an Herbert. He was the fairy on the
Tommy's eyes are like squinted. He's like the one person
Well.
Tommy holds a grudge for.
We did see him. I believe he left town looking for something. Maybe it was you.
Tommy probably remembers the doll, like the toy in
He had a,
Herbert's bag hidden under the stuff.
he had a doll.
I had a doll. I dropped it.
Well, he has it.
Oh, good. Where are we? Who are you people?
Well, I'm
What's
Tommy.
going on?
Well, we're in Dahlia's house. That's Dahlia over there.
Dahlia waves.
She turned. I'm gonna ignore that. She's magic and just helped us help you.
I disapprove of turning children into things unless there's a lesson involved.
Grim smile from Carol.
But so the bat drinking the milk is Oswin. I'm Tommy, the Pumpkin King. Carol is my big sister.
I think what happens is we fade out as Tommy's introducing everyone. As this is happening, the camera pulls back, Tommy's voice gets quieter, the ending music gets louder, and we peel away. As we do, in another area of the woods, we see the Marquis, a tall, skinny gentleman dressed up in fine clothes. His face a wolf skull. Peeking out from his clothes are bits of weed and wheat and grass growing out of his collar and out of his eye sockets and out from under his pant legs. He has a cane, and as he's walking along, he pauses and turns. He flicks his wrist, and a list appears in it. And he scrolls down.
Agnes, I see that meddling witch has broken the spell. Something must be done about these children.
And he turns and starts walking faster. The only sound we can hear is the tick, tick, tick of his cane as the Marquis gets ever closer.
Hey Mark Experience listeners, it's end credits time. I know you love hearing this part, but I like to remind you guys that you can find us on Tumblr, Instagram, and even TikTok. And if you like to buy the music, you can buy it all at markexperience.bandcamp.com. We also have a constantly growing collection of merch at redbubble.com/people/mark-experience, where you can buy posters and shirts and stickers and all that. If you want to support your favorite editor and musician, you can head over to my Ko-fi account at ko-fi.com/Jamie Remy. That's spelled JAMIEREMY. Mark Experience can be located basically anywhere podcasts exist now, so you can listen wherever's easiest. See you next episode!